Okay, welcome to Shabit Uganda e-learning, and my name is Nelson Swamba. This is my telephone number 0783253698. Email at e-learning at shareability.net. So in our today's video, we shall be able to continue with more about telling time and uh, finding out the number of hours that are in a day when you are asked questions, and you can be able to tell them in relation to AM or PM. Okay, so let's look at a recap of what we first did. We talked about telling time in AM and PM. We looked at six. How do you tell the time according to days? If it is in the daytime, how do we call it? If it is in the evening, how do we call it? That brings for us a variation of it brings for us a variation, or for us to tell that yes, when he says AM was meaning in the morning, when he says PM was meaning in the evening. And we also looked at uh, where does a PM starts from and where does a AM starts from. In our recent video, we were able to talk about that. Please, uh, if you did watch out that video, I recommend you to watch out this video for you to fit within this video. Okay, so in today's video, we shall just be looking at changing what changing changing days into hours. We are going to be changing the days into hours. That's when they give questions that someone had 5 days, so how many hours have been in those days. So you can be able to calculate and understand that if someone took 10 days, okay, if someone visited his uncle, or if you visited your uncle or your auntie and spent there 3 days, you can be able to tell the amount of time that you spend there. So I promise you within this video you shall be able to understand how do we calculate that hour. Okay, so we have an example here, and this example of ours will give us the concept of telling time. When someone asks you that you have spent a week at your uncle, or you have spent the whole holiday, or you spend the whole term while boarding at school. If they ask you, how many hours do you think you have spent in relation to hours? So in today's video, we are saying we are changing those days to what? Those days to hours. So we can be able to calculate how many days are in a what? Are in a term. When the accountant say a term has, let me say, a term has, let me say the format, okay, the format that is 30, okay, something like 160 days, okay, 160 days. Let me assume 160 days in a term. We can be able to say the 160 days. If someone asks, then if you have spent 160 days, then how many hours are those? Okay, so let's look at an example here. A basic example here is how many hours are in 5 days? Okay, how many hours are in 5 days? So how do you derive to this? Number one, you have to be knowing. If one day, if we have one day has the 24 hours, one day is equal to 24 hours. If you have one day equaling to 24 hours, then how many days, how many hours now are going to be in the 5 days? Okay, let me demonstrate it more here. Let me demonstrate it. They are saying this guy is having 5 what? 5 hours. Okay. Let me get my pen here. Let me get my pen. Let me get my pen here. Okay. I'm going to get my pen here. It is ready. We are having our 5 what? 5 days. Okay. We're having our 5 days according to the question. Okay, so they want us to find the number of hours in the what? In the 5 days. So we are saying for us to know the number of hours, days to, let me say days to what? Days to hours. We're having our days to what? To hours. We are saying for us to change these 5 days to hours, one, we should be able to know how many hours makes one day. Okay, so we are saying we have one day, one day is equal to 20. One day is equal to 24 hours. Okay, 24 what? 24 hours. One day is equal to 24 hours. Okay, one day is equal to 24 hours. So that means now, if we have the 5 days, if one day is equal to 24 hours, how about the 5 days? So when you have the 5 days, we shall be able to say, for one day, which is equal to 24 hours, then for 5 days, okay, 5 days, then this shall be equal to our 24, okay, our 24 hours, which is equal to one day. Then we shall multiply. We shall do what? We shall multiply by 5. Okay, let me try to rub this. Let me erase this. Let me erase this. Erase this. Okay. How about the 5 what? The 5 days. Okay. We are saying for us to get the hours that are in 5 days, okay, these are 5 days, we shall be able to say 1 hour which is in 1 hour, 1 day which is equal to 24 hours, we shall be able to multiply it by our 5 what? Our 5 days. We multiply this by 5. The product that we shall get here shall be our hours. So what is 5 times 4? 5 times 4, someone with an answer? Good, that is the right answer. So that means 5 times 4, we get a what? We get a 20, okay? We get a 20. 5 times 4, we get what? We get a 20. So we shall be able to write our 0, okay? And then we shall say what is 5 times 5 times what? 5 times 2, we get 10. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10. But remember, we remain with our 2 here. So we shall add our what? Our 2, which is going to be 12. So that means the product of 5 and 24 is 120. So that means when they ask 5 days to hours, we shall be having 120 what? Hours. Let's look at what these people were able to get. Okay, so we are saying how many hours are in 5 days. So we are saying one day is equal to 24 hours, right? Then our 5 days then will be equal to the 24 hours which is in one day, okay? Which is equal to one day, then times the 5 hours. I mean the 5 what? The 5 days. So we shall be able to get 5 days shall be equal to 120 what? 20 hours. Simply this will be our what? This will be our answer. So by there we shall have told someone that in the 5 days someone has got what? In the 5 days have uh, 120 hours. Okay, let's look at another example here. This one I'm going to ask you. Okay, we are saying okay, we have John. Okay, we are going to have this guy called John. We are having that guy John. John was absent for 10 days. John was absent for 10 days. Okay, 10 days. He was absent for what? For 10 days. And then I want you to calculate the hours. How many hours was John able to spend? How many hours? Okay, so in this number we shall also use the concept of 1 day equal to 24. Then we get our what? We get our 10 what? We get our 24. Okay, our 24 hours, which is equal to 1 day. Then we also multiply it by 10. Okay, multiply it by what? We multiply it by 10. Okay, so when you multiply this by 10, you shall be able to come up with the number of hours. Okay, I'll be able to come up with the number of what? The number of hours. So what is 0 times 4? Shall get our answer as 0 here. What is 0 times 2? Shall get our what? Our 0 again. Okay, then we are coming now to a 1. What is 1 times 4? Okay, 1 times 4. We are going to write that one in 1 times 4. We shall get our 4. Okay, then we shall say what is 1 times 2. Shall get our what? Shall get our 2. Okay, I know someone is wondering why I'm writing them like this. Please, this is the procedure. When you look to our sessions of multiplication, you'll be able to understand this. Okay, so here we shall be able to write this. We add, this is going to be 2. So that means in what? In 10 days, when John was absent, has been able to spend 240 hours, while when John was absent. So in simple term, that's how we find and change our days into what? Into hours. Okay, so hope everyone has been able to understand this. Please, we have a comment section. You can also still comment and we make a video of your choice that satisfy you. Right. So for this, I do say thank you very much. Please be able to check out on our playlist and subscribe for you to get the more upcoming lessons. God bless you. Have a nice moment.